you've been really good about your socials game, I think pretty much since the beginning, because that's, you came up on YouTube basically.
Yeah.
And then you pivoted to short form when basically that became an option. Yeah.
Well, I started doing short form probably might be 3 years ago now at this point.
Yeah.
Where I was always posting on Instagram and stuff,
sure.
And doing the type beat thing, but then I really started
doing the showcase.
I made there was one day in particular I made a decision, I'm going to actually put effort into this.
I think me and you talked about this whenever we first met up down the street at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
What was that, 2022? It was a year or two ago.
A year or two ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was a year or two ago. And we were talking about content, and I was like, yeah, I've seen a couple of your things. You were like, yeah, I just started really trying, which is really sick because I had also just kind of started really trying at that point too. And I had also seen cool, I gotten good outreach from it, gotten new clients. I know that's a big way that you get clients as well.
The past since February, all of my new clients have all come from primarily TikTok, which is wild.
That's crazy. Yeah, and I think you've also helped Brad really kind of delve into that world, the owner of the Studio 101 that we're in, Brad. You've kind of helped him dive into some of that stuff.
I think he said 3 clients off TikTok.
Off that one post, yeah. Yeah, that's super sick. I think he just put some ad dollars behind it.
What is interesting though is this past month, I think something shifted with the algorithm, or something maybe it's with the TikTok ban or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's definitely slowed down. So I'm been experimenting with Instagram and Facebook ads to try to get similar results.
I'm seeing a lot more traction on Instagram lately. A good for instance, me and Brooks, who does all the shorts editing for the podcast side of things. He and I have a podcast that we just do on the side. That's the things we like stuff. It's very low effort, low lift on both of ours. It's just a thing we do for fun. And so we'll do some reaction videos where he'll throw up a video game or we'll react to a trailer. He'll cut it together. We have one blow up, for real blow up.
On Instagram?
On Instagram and TikTok.
Oh, both?
Yeah. So I think we're at 400K on TikTok, which is
that's a lot.
That's a lot. Especially for it's not a new page. So I don't necessarily mean it's not the new page blow up. We've already had that happen.
So it's just a legitimate
viral. Yeah. And then we had but the same video 3 days later did the same thing on Instagram. So I've noticed Instagram's started delaying their I guess it's called their shelf. I think people.
Because don't all the social media platforms test it to on my TikTok, all my videos shoot up to 800 or 900 views, and then it either caps there or it
goes somewhere else. Yeah. Mine would do that at 2 to 4, somewhere around there for the podcast episode stuff. It'll go 200, 400.
Stop.
And then sometimes it'll get a second wind. And basically if it gets that second wind so Instagram, I think, is even more delayed. It's the day one, it'll go out to the tightest knit, closest people. And then maybe day 2 or 3, it'll go out to slightly more people. And then after that, it hits.
What's interesting though is because whenever I first started the social media thing, I was trying to, I wouldn't say I was trying to go viral, but my mindset was get more views. But once I made the shift to all I care about right now is getting clients.
Yeah.
The types of content I post won't go viral just because the type of content it is, but it will get clients. And once I made that shift, I started actually getting clients off socials.
I think me and you talked about this the other day when we were talking about content stuff. And it's some people, TikTok is great and socials are great for business growth, 100%. How you use it changes how it works.
For sure.
What you put into it will change the output. So what I mean by that for those listening is let's say you're just posting random stuff to TikTok. You're going to get random viewers because you don't it doesn't know, Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Shorts doesn't know what to feed your stuff to. If it's just kind of whatever music content, it'll feed it to general music people. And then that's probably not going to do very well.
You need very specific audience.
If you're just posting type beat stuff, that's going to go to a certain audience that's probably not going to hire you.
Right.
That's not a hiring type audience. So what you've done recently that I've really enjoyed is you shifted your content to more of a, here's how I made this thing for this artist.
Yeah.
Let me make something for you. Go to my forum or hit me up or whatever.
Yeah, I have probably 3 or 4 types of videos, and that's all I make in post.
Yeah, which
works.
Honestly,
nice for me because I don't have to like sit there and think, what am I gonna film or make? You know,
takes the mental load off of like, oh, I have to come up and be creative. I think that's a big blocker for a lot of people, right?
It was for me for a while.
Yeah, it's like for me, especially first off, it's like I don't know what to post, so it's kind of hard for me to post because I don't know what to make. The thing that broke through for me was I was like, well, I don't know what to post, and I want to be like in more of the producer space of like, my goal is to find beginner producers and then help them like get better. So I was like, all right, what do beginner producers like? Free plugins. So I made a series of like 12 videos, 12 short forms, and like a bunch of them did really, really well. One of my second highest video on TikTok is one of those videos. It's like free strings plugins.
Right.
And it's like free piano plugins, the 3 best plugins. I did 20 of those like plugin videos.
I think a mistake though producers make a lot is they make one type of video and expect a different result. So for example, they're like, some producers I talk to, they want to get clients from,
but they make the plugin video.
But they make the plugin videos, which only producers are going to want to watch.
Yes,
so you have to make, if your goal is to get clients, you have to make videos that will attract
100%.
artists. Or if you want to do the producer plugin stuff, then you have to make that kind of content.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which I do that kind of stuff if I'm working with a plugin company that gives me plugins. I will sprinkle that in sometimes, but for the most part, my goal is to get clients, where your goal is more of the...
Yeah, and like I'm going to integrate the client stuff more later. But right now it's really like I'm trying to grow like the podcast. I'm trying to grow like the newsletter. I'm trying to grow like my brand. So I think
the moral for all this is like, you need to figure out what your goal is and then only make content that serves that one
goal
thing.
Yes, 100%. Because like you said, when you shifted, it got significantly less views, I'm sure. When you shifted the content, it probably got less views, at least up front. It got less views.
But then it turned into
more clients.
More of the right people watching.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Less overall views, but more, and we would call them like qualified views, qualified leads of people that are like actually interested in hiring you.